circle, and then when I come back down into that corner I need to walk 2 to 5 steps of medium walk, and then I'm going up there along the side, and then I might have to have a look again then. That was me trying to learn a dressage test, and this is me trying to write it. So basically I am just practicing here, and the way I try and remember a test is by reading half of it, or just remembering as much as it feels like I can remember, and then writing through that part, and then I generally go back to the next part and go from there, and then hopefully put it together. P came out a little bit fresh today. I think taking a martingale off, she had this new lease of life with her head, and she just got a bit silly for a while. But she does settle down for the actual test, which is nice. But just here in our little practice, she's a little bit fidgety. But then again, isn't she going to be? She's not long off the track. She's not long in her retraining. We've not done a lot of schooling recently at all. And yeah, that is one of the main things we have trouble with as well, is the hollowing from the transitions. But you know, we're working on it, we'll get there eventually. And it was just nice to put in a test. This test is a Dressage Riders Online test, and to get the feedback is just lovely. And then obviously I'm not going to take any prizes away from anyone, so it's technically HC, but I did award myself with a little rosette, which I'll show you at the end. But yeah, she's as you can see there, she really is hollowing on the transitions, the downward transitions especially, and we need to work on that a lot. But yeah, she's really good. I found writing this test quite nice. It was quite easy to remember once I'd rode through it. And obviously Dan is standing in the middle of the arena, but when it comes to doing my test, I have him stand just outside the arena because there is space to do so. And he needs to stand at C, which is where the judge would judge you from. To also video the best you can, you need to zoom in when you're at the bottom end the best you can, obviously zoom out when you're at the top end. It makes it really hard for the judge to see for like I can't even get my words out, what's the word I'm looking for, hitting the markers. I still can't think of it. But yeah, if the judge can't really see where the markers are, they can't really judge that properly. So you do need to be able to show where the markers and everything are. And I was actually really naughty and didn't realise that my not all my markers were there, but the judge did a lovely job of working out what I was using and went from there. So yeah, this is the first part of the test, and then I go back to trying to learn some more. And I was really happy with what she's just done there with her free walk on a long rein. It was really good for her, bless her. Walk up to the halt salute at X, right? So I'll pick up from there, see if I can work that out. So I'm doing my free walk on a long rein here.
Jump into the car on a Friday night, I wanna drive with you. Looking for a bar in the nearest town, I've never seen a sky so blue. We don't ever play it and the night is young, it doesn't matter what we do. There ain't nobody like, there ain't nobody like. You look so beautiful, and I'm so lucky to be yours. And you're taking me
So here it is, the test that I submitted. I only did it once after my 2 half run-throughs, and a lot could be changed, but at the same time I didn't want to tire out. It was a really warm day. It just thankfully was a bit windy. But yeah, so I popped the things on the bottom there on what she gets for each movement, and I'm really quite pleased with what she gets overall. And she does, obviously a lot of it is just basically saying she needs to move forward to the contact. When she comes up to work round, she just loses energy. She just needs to learn to go forward in that contact. But at the moment, obviously, if I'm getting the contact, I'm just going to try and keep the contact, and we will work on getting her moving more fluidly forward as we go. She's just getting there, bless her. So this one I was worried about, but I think she did it quite nice considering some of the ones she'd done in the warm-up. She tends to throw her head up really high when it comes to a downwards transition, and it was a really nice transition up. She is definitely getting better with that. She just lost a bit of balance on the corner there, and again I could do with her going forward a little bit more here. I keep debating on whether I should put some spurs on, but we'll just have to see. It's not something that I really like. Yeah, so there again, she comes down here, she sticks her head up on the downwards transition. She just needs to relax and go forward. That transition wasn't too bad there. There was only a little bit of a head throw up. And then we come back into another circle, which she does quite nicely. She's really coming on, bless her. She hasn't done a lot of schooling at all lately. I don't think I did the circle the best size, but it's alright. There we go. So it needs to relax into the contact again, downwards transition. But once she settles, I think someone came on the yard, slammed the door behind her there. And then someone else comes on the yard or something later on as well, so there's 2 little hiccups there, but they don't affect our score too badly. I think it's generally what she would have got anyway. This one comes up, so it's a medium walk up to the short diagonal, and yeah, it was a slam door. There's a car going past there. But yeah, so this is up the short diagonal, and then you half circle into the free walk on a long rein, and that is a ×2 score. And she did a really nice free walk. She does, someone's just whinnied, so she throws her head up there, but then I do manage to get her to sort of relax again. She just starts to settle the drop again by the end of it, but obviously the judge could see that she just stretches down quite nicely. She just needs to hold that stretch and move forward more. So we're going back up again, and obviously I think the judge sees the difference between the transition. She did not throw her head up at all there, which I'm really happy with. And she's really nice and soft to the contact. She's really quite a sweet little ride. Like I say, she just needs to just come up and through more and just keep going forward. It doesn't actually look as bad as it feels, but it literally feels like I'm going nowhere and then I'm kicking a seaside donkey. But she's honestly, I still couldn't be any prouder of her. I've had horses that have took a lot longer to get to this point, and she is still building up the muscle, so she's doing so well. This movement I didn't really like. I think obviously for her lack of balance, just turning one way and then another, and coming down the transition, I could have done that a little bit later. But I think she was just dropping off my legs, so I just let her fall into the walk, which is naughty really, but obviously we were in the test, so if I was just schooling I wouldn't have allowed that. And I actually overshot the centre line here, but I don't think the judge noticed because obviously I haven't got a marker, so I kind of do a little bit better than I probably should have there. But overall we did a really good score. She actually hollered really well. We don't normally halt that well. Obviously she hollows in our downwards transition, but I'm really chuffed with her. So this bit's me just cooling down. I just wanted to go into how I felt about the test, the marks that she got in terms of the comments from the judge. So here we've got some good scores. For paces, she gets an 8. And we've got the comment of good fluent steps. From our impulsion score, we've got 7s. Obviously, these are times 2. And we've got pleasing activity, just needs to connect a little more through the back, which is fair enough. Hopefully that'll come in time. We've got submission, we've got 6.5, which is obviously going to happen because she's just needing to relax a bit more. And the comment says, a stunning horse that needs to relax a little more and settle through into a steady seeking contact. And the next one we have is position of the rider, which we've got a 7. And I got just keep the thumbs uppermost. And then the effectiveness of the rider is a 7 again. A well-presented test, just needing confidence and fluency into a forward feeling and seeking contact through the transitions and in the walk, which we know fine well, obviously, is what I've been saying all along, is she just doesn't feel like she's going forward. But at the moment, this is the way we are in our training, and I'm really pleased with how she's going, and hopefully we can get that forward movement soon. And overall, the judges' comments were a very classy horse with tons of potential. Just practice transitions, think smooth and try and get the neck to lengthen just as though you were going into a stretch. Work with long and low stretching on small figures of 8s in between, and the aim is to keep the focus and calm. And obviously that is something I do a lot of, the long and low. So I'm going to obviously listen to what the judge says and try and bring in some small figures of 8s and see if we can get them to come together and help with what we are doing. But yeah, I'm absolutely over the moon with how she went, and I just at this point realized that we had barely any letters and that I was probably going to get wrong from the judge, but thankfully I didn't. But yeah, I obviously, like I said before, I've entered HC, so I don't take any marks away from any of the riders, but I did award myself with a little rosette because the perks of the job and all that, and I ended up in a joint 2nd place. And I'm over the moon with my little girl. So if anyone wants to take part of Dressage Riders Online, it is so easy to enter. Pop onto the website, and we also have a code at the moment for an offer on July. So pop onto Facebook or Instagram to grab that.